Okay, beginning of day 21, slack pack of around 11 miles, which will almost complete the southern section of Shenandoah National Park. There'll be about 5 miles left, but we'll almost complete that, so I won't have to do that when I come north. I'll just come up to Waynesboro and maybe have Mrs. Grayson drop me 5 miles up the trail and slack pack it back to Waynesboro. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But so when I come back up through Shenandoah National Park, I don't have to do this section. So it's worked out to allow me to be at home, and who knows, I may slack pack the northern section of Shenandoah National Park as well, just as a break from the pack. I mean, it's all walking and it's all effort. It's just a little bit more enjoyable without 25-30 pounds on your back. So notice today, new shirt. The reason is, silly reason, the sun hoodie I've been wearing, which I really love, I washed it, taking it back to trail. I want to take it back to trail fresh rather than a day's worth of sweat in it, and so I'm wearing a different shirt, and I have another sun shirt that the sun gets bad today. I'll put on to kind of protect myself. I kind of hate sunscreen. It just makes your body all clammy, and so trying out these sun shirts, they do make you a little bit warmer, but it's nothing like all the gooey stuff that you get. And I think sunscreen kind of clogs up your pores too. Anyway, so that's the plan. The hiking today is, starting off downhill here, but we're gonna have some gradual ups and downs, then a pretty long downhill. And then at the end, a fairly significant climb for Shenandoah National Park, and up over that hump and back down to the car. So that's kind of the plan. Got a little later start this morning. This is 9:30. I wanted to be on trail by 9. It just helps me hit my marks. But there was an accident coming up 250 from Waynesboro, and I got through the melee just as the emergency department was getting there. Linda didn't. She had to go get on 64, go to Crozet, turn around and come back, which cost probably 20 minutes, and I was probably a little behind getting my stuff done this morning as well. So the plan is to hike today 11 miles, and then once that's done, I'm going to drive home. I need to finally pack up my pack again to get it trail ready. I've been using some of my things here on the trails I slack pack, and we're going to drive down to Christiansburg, get a hotel, and then Linda's dropping me off at the trail, and then I'm back in the thick of things again. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it, because this hour loss in the morning and hour loss in the evening to drive to and from Skyline Drive is making it hard. Just so many things to take care of, things you don't think about, like this morning, before I got on trail, credit card payment was due. It's something I've always taken care of, so instead of having to do that from the trail on my cell phone, I could do it this morning from the computer. Got a good breakfast in me, packed a lunch. You might see a little later what my scrumptious lunch is going to be, but packed a lunch, got 2 water bottles, headed out, hoping to be able to hike in the cool of the day. I was actually hoping it was misty up here coming up, but in the delay, the sun's burned off the mist. I was kind of hoping to hike in the mist, because I like to be in the woods when it's kind of foggy. It just gives it a whole different look, and it's also cooler. So today's object probably is going to be managing sun. So I may start off with this shirt, and then you may see me in a different sun shirt here later when the sun gets warmer, because especially this stretch of slack packing up here in the park has been sunny, and I've been getting a lot of sun, and I just want to manage it. I don't want to get a bad sunburn, and so that's kind of the things that are going on in my mind. I continue to wrestle with it's a little hard when every day is an unknown. Even though I have a plot on the elevation profile of the trail, it's it always seems vastly different in reality. It gives you some sense of what's going on. I mean, if you know you have a long climb coming up, and you start that climb, you kind of take it easy. You don't try to blast it out. I keep being, but then as it works out, the climbs on the little chart don't look all that big, but they seem bigger. Then when you actually see the elevation profile, you think, when you see the knob coming up that you're going to go over, you think, wow, that's high. And then it doesn't seem to be as bad as what you thought it would be. So it's a whole set of things. It's just like totally being out of your comfort zone. Every day has something in it that you have no idea what it is, because you've never been this way before. You know, in our life we get in ruts, and we're used to our ruts, and we're comfortable in our ruts. Well, this trail is getting me out of my ruts. Every stinking day is out of my rut. Like today, the rut is I need to walk 11 miles, and I'm terribly capable of doing that. But I've been doing 9s and 10s, and so it's just a mental block to think, okay, I got another mile or a mile and a half to do from what I've normally been doing, and so you know, the miles don't hike themselves, so you got to hike it. One of my goals for today is just to enjoy the view. Like, I'm really enjoying this, hiking through this kind of a pine forest. It sort of has a different feel. It has the smell of pine trees. You can smell it in the air, the smell of pine needles and pine trees, and it's a totally different feel from being on top of a ridge in a hardwood forest where all you smell is leaves. So there are so many different things that you get to experience if you can take the time to take it in and decide to be present. One of the things we get so focused on is that we sometimes get so focused on what's going to happen in the future or what's coming up, or what happened in the past, that we don't live in the present. And so one of my goals on the trail is to live more in the present, but I tell you, it's a challenge. You know, I'm thinking, can I make it to Beagle Gap? What's the climb going to be like? I just need to enjoy this beautiful section of trail. And one of the things that's happening here at Shenandoah National Park that I didn't see quite as much down south, where I'll be hiking again, is, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, but some of the trees, when they just start to sprout their leaves, especially I think they're maples, they get all these wonderful colors. Like there's reds today, and you see these colors that you never see any other time of the year. It just all turns to green, and to see they're kind of like lacy like, and it's really gorgeous. Here's some you can see up the trail here a little bit. Just see the buds or the little seedlings. And so I'm endeavoring to enjoy that today. Hope you're enjoying some of this with me as well. So I've been walking through the woods here, and on both sides of the trail it is just lined with mountain laurel, and I imagine when this blooms it will be just spectacular. You can see the buds already starting to form, but my guess is we're 2 to 3 weeks out, on the mountain laurel blooming, but this would be just an amazing walk. Not only would you have this nice smooth trail, but you would have the fragrance of the blossoms. And so just one of the cool things today. The predominant birds I've heard are the towhees, and they must be legion because I hear them all over the place. I've heard a raven, I heard a mourning dove. Yesterday I heard a phoebe. I've heard a couple other birds. I recognize the calls, common birds, but I can't put a name to them. But anyway, it's nice. There's a nice cool breeze blowing across here, and the trail generally is pretty sweet, pretty nice and easy. Got a little bit of an uphill here, but it's been undulating up and down, and just makes for a nice hike. So the sun's gotten hot enough. It's time to break out full sun gear. Sun hoodie, long sleeves, just because I don't want to get burnt to a crisp, and I'm starting to feel hot on my ears and the back of my neck. So surprisingly, it isn't too bad. I would have thought it'd been a little hotter. Now let me show you something else here. Looks like up in here we have some mountain laurel beginning to bloom. I don't know if you can see that on there or not, but it is starting to come out. It's awesome. Okay, so we're getting to the end of the hiking day for day 21. Just ascended Calf Mountain and Little Calf Mountain, and now we are descending down Little Calf Mountain. That will get me back to the parking area where my car is parked. Done 11 miles so far, have another 0.6 to go to put this one in the books. It's been a really beautiful hiking day. Won't say I'm not tired. 11.6 miles is good miles for me, and but beautiful scenery. And actually I got to try out this sun hoodie in the sun. It was surprisingly, I don't know if it's cooler than the merino wool one that I've been wearing, so it might have to go along with me on when I get back on the trail in earnest. So anyway, the plan is to hike back to the car, drive home, pack up the stuff, and head to Christiansburg for the night, and then Mrs. Grayson's going to drop me on the trail in the morning, and then I'll be out of the slack packing mode and into the backpacking mode. So I'm doing a section of the trail southbound per recommendation from a shuttle driver. She said that northbound it's got a really nasty climb. She said it's easier southbound, so I'm all for easier. I don't believe it's going to be easy, but I'm all for easier. So tomorrow's day, I think, looks to be about 10 miles. It starts down low, goes up over a mountain, goes down the other side to a stream, and that's where I'll be camping for the night. There's a shelter there as well. So anyway, this is a wrap up for today. Let me see. 2417 was my elevation gain. So fair day of elevation gain. Although the trails here in Shenandoah National Park are groomed pretty well, and the grades are usually fairly gradual. There's very few just gut crunching climbs or even descents either. So it's been a good day. Gonna get back in time this evening, so signing off for day 21. So Andrew and I hiked this section of the trail all back maybe 12 years ago, and I think this is the place that we came up off a road crossing and into the field, and laying across the road, laying across the trail was like a 6-foot long rattlesnake, big old fat thing, just stretched all out, sunning himself, and we made a little noise, gave him a little chance to get out of the way, and gave him a wide berth. But I think it was coming up through here, but I can't be sure. It's interesting. I've hiked this whole section before. We did it northbound, but nothing looks very familiar. I think maybe Black Rocks kind of rang a bell, and down at the water here about 3 or 4 miles back kind of looked familiar. But it's amazing how you can hike the same trail in different seasons and you can get a totally different impression. But we're getting down to the parking lot and the car, and that means I'm done hiking for the day. And honestly, after 11.6 miles, my feet are ready to take a load off. They'll be happy when I take weight off of them. I wish I could say that I'm one of those guys that could pump out 15, 20 miles. But right now, the old bod is feeling pretty good at about this distance. 12 miles, 13 miles, 10 miles. So here we are, go through this style and back into civilization.